Welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Davian Clifton, and I am here today to discuss with you the opportunity of digital marketing that's taking over the country, or the world actually. And I'm here to share what I've learned and what I'm doing in this new financial atmosphere. A lot of people is asking me what's going on because they're seeing some of the things that I'm doing. They're seeing some of the posts that I'm making on social media. Oh, excuse me. And they want to know and want to learn. So my goal today is to share with you what I've learned about digital marketing, what I've been able to take advantage of, how I've been able to develop a secondary income that's soon to become a primary income. Thank God for that. I'm really excited about it. But let's just talk. Let's talk about, first of all, what's going on in the world. Right now, we are in some trying times. We are in a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what's going on, especially in the United States. We don't know what to expect. And I don't want to be political. I really don't. It's hard not to be, but I don't. I don't want to be political because people grab sides and they want to start pointing fingers and saying it's your fault, and who's to blame. And I'm going to tell you that a philosophy I've always had as being a head of my family, the only thing that I've really cared about, the only thing that I focus on is taking care of my family. How I'm going to put food on the table, how am I going to make sure that my family has shelter, how am I going to provide for my family. And be honest with you, I don't care who's in that White House. I really don't. As long as you're not affecting what I'm doing to accomplish those goals, I can care less. Chances are I'm never going to meet that person anyway. So I really don't care. And there's too many things that goes along with politics that I'm not going to be grouped into a certain group. Because when you group into a certain group, everything that happens within that group, you either got to be against it or for it. And that's impossible. That's why I don't understand when people follow somebody blindly. I don't get that. I'm not following no one blindly. It's just, I'm sorry. You're taking away my ability or my choice to be the head of my family. And the only one above me is God. So unless you fall into that category of being God, I'm not going to follow anyone blindly. So that's just the way I feel. That's the way things are. My goal is to take care of my family. And when I see things that's going on with today's economy, how you feel, again, the economy is going crazy. Prices are high. Everything is high. If you're renting, rent is high. Your mortgages, the interest rates are getting high. It's hard to borrow money on your home. The banks are starting to be banks, meaning they're trying to take all your money. Utility bills are getting ridiculous, especially your electric bill. And I know that for a fact because my primary income is I'm a solar advisor. I own a solar company, sell solar panels to help people switch their power option to solar. And usually high utility bills, it works in my favor. And I usually get excited because it's easy for me to convince somebody to switch to solar. But with our current administration, they've cut the main benefit that homeowners can get to switch to solar, which is the 30% tax credit that was in the Inflation Reduction Act. Again, I'm not going to get into that because people start saying, oh, this and that, and he did this and he did that. All I know is that you messed up my money. So because of that situation, I had to start looking for alternatives. I had to start looking for ways to supplement the money that I'm losing in my solar business. And that leads me to how I literally stumbled upon digital marketing, what I'm here to talk about today. And when I say stumble, I mean stumble, because I was doing like most of us do, probably all of us do. I was on TikTok, scrolling, looking for videos to laugh at, like we always do, cooking videos, see if I see something that I want to try because I like to cook, or a music video, or mainly funny videos, because I get a lot of entertainment from it. You know, some people say we on social media too much. Okay, it is what it is, but that's what I choose to do. That's my source of entertainment. And as I was out there scrolling, I kept running across these videos of people talking about how they make money through digital marketing, how they make money selling ebooks, how they make money selling courses, how they make money, selling merchandise, drop shipments, how they become affiliates with a TikTok shop, how they become affiliates with Amazon Prime, and then so many ways where you can make money. And I started really thinking about, okay, are these people really making money, or are they just up here, selling a pipe dream? So I decided to do a little research and look into it. And again, don't get me wrong, this wasn't a one night revelation where it just hit me and I decided that I struck gold. No, this happened over days, probably weeks, maybe months of just continually see something, because I've always believed that, I'm just like everybody else. We pray to the Lord, say, God, give me a financial blessing, show me what to do. Give me the spirit of discernment to make right decisions to take care of my family. That's my daily prayer. And a lot of times when we ask, in our mind, when we ask God to bless us financially, most of us thinking hit the lottery, or we're going to get a check in the mail from a long lost family member who passed away and left us an inheritance, or something like that. Sad part is when people do get blessed that way, because they didn't earn it, or such a quick, influx of money, we don't know what to do with it. We make bad decisions and we end up blowing it. Even though we still say, and I know you're saying it, like I said, yeah, give me the shot. Let me find out for myself. I'd rather have it and lose it than never to have it all. Amen. But anyway, I'm looking at these videos and I'm seeing a lot of, say young folks. And I say young folks because I'm in my 50s and I'm not old by no means, even though some mornings I feel like a 75 Buick. I got to warm up for a while before I can get going. But I'm not old by no means. I take care of my 86-year-old mother, and she has a lot of energy, even though she has a lot of pains and discomforts. But, she's 30-something years older than me, so I know I'm not old. Anyway, I saw a lot of young folks talking about what they're doing and how they're making money. And they weren't talking about a couple $100, couple $1,000. They were talking about 5, sometimes 6 figures in a month. Now, I don't care who you are. 5, 6 figures extra income in your household a month is significant. If it's not, then more power to you. God bless you. But for the majority of people, especially anyone looking at this video, an extra 5, 6 figures in your household income is significant. So it was catching my attention. And I'm watching it and I'm listening to what they were saying, and it actually made sense. It wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't any type of fad. It wasn't anything like that. It was real. Because some of the stuff they were talking about, I had done it before, but I had done it on a small level. So I realized that with any business, and I say any business because I've been in business for myself over 35 years. I've owned 8 different LLCs. Some very successful, some not successful at all. So I'm what you call a serial entrepreneur. And I thank God for that, because, again, like I was saying before, we pray for the Lord to bless us financially, but yet we close our eyes and our ears to opportunities that come our way. And to me, that makes no sense, because how God's going to bless us? I mean, what do you think? Somebody going to just ring the doorbell and say, "Hey, Mr. Johnson, got a check for you for $1 million here from God"? It don't work like that. What he does is he puts opportunity, he put people, he put situations in front of us, and he trusts that you're going to use a spirit of discernment to research it, investigate it, and check into it and see if it's what you were looking for. And when I say check into it, we pray to ask the Lord to bring us an opportunity. We look into it, we research it, we see how it works, we make it make sense. Then we go back to God and ask, "God, give me confirmation on this." Well, at least that's how I do what I do. If that's not what you do, then so be it. You have your own process. That's what I do. That's how I do what I do. And a lot of times, God will say, "Yeah, this is what I want you to do." And the problem we have is a lot of times when opportunities come our way, we think it has to be a life-changing career move. That's something that you're going to do for the rest of your life, because that's our MO. That's what we're thinking about all the time. When we get a job, it's like, this is going to be the job I'm going to retire from. This is going to be the job I'm going to have the rest of my life. And who said that? What makes you think that? Why do we feel as though we have to work in the same occupation, in the same career, the same industry 30, 40 years? Those days are gone. Those were the days of our parents and our grandparents. Because for one, they were first happy to have a job that could take care of their family. So they weren't going to take the chance of leaving that job. And they became good at it, and they did what they had to do and became comfortable at it. And the lifestyle that it provided was the lifestyle they was going to have. And they were happy to have that, and they made it work. Nothing wrong with that at all. But today, that's not how it is. Most people don't work a job 20, 30, 40 years and retire. I think the people who are in that retirement stage now, in their 50s and 60s, they're the last generation of people that's going to retire from a job working 30, 40 years. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. Because people in that generation, people very rarely change jobs. In today's generation, people change jobs on a regular because another opportunity may come. Or when the economy is crazy like now, they're doing a lot of, the job market is really sucks, for lack of a better word, and people are getting cut off. I have two friends that just been at their jobs 15, 16, one 17, one guy 20 years. Just got to notice that company is going to cut down and his department is going to be gone. Another friend of mine, she's up in IT, working for a major healthcare company. They just told her after 17 years, we're going to work out a severance pay for you. We're going in another direction. We're cutting at her department. So now she's in her 50s trying to figure out what she's going to do. She has a little money set aside, but she's not prepared to retire. So my question is, for those of us that are in our 50s, even not even 50, 40s, 50s, especially 60s, if something like that happens to you, what are you going to do? Have you thought about it? Are we in a position where we can live off our savings? Do we have a savings? Do we have a side? Do we have a side hustle? Do we have what's called, I like to refer to as a second paycheck? Because a lot of us are living check to check. And the problem is that one check is not enough. So that next check coming doesn't come fast enough. So my question is, do you keep your options open? Do you look? Do you really look? I don't mean anything and everything. I mean, do you really look and think about it? Because that's what I found out when I ran into the digital marketing industry. I saw that there are a lot of companies, a lot of businesses, there are a lot of industries that are really growing like wildfire. digital marketing is one of them. Forbes has indicated that digital marketing is going to be a $1.4 trillion industry in the next 3 to 4 years. I said by 2030. We're in 26 now. So the question is, how much of that $1.34 trillion do you want? Or are you going to be the ones that's going to sit back and say, man, you know what? I saw that and I kept wondering if it was going to happen. And I never did pull the trigger. I never did jump in. I kept standing on the side of the pool and just dipping my toe in, seeing how the water felt. Instead of doing like you did as a kid, running and diving and do a cannonball in the water and letting the initial shock hit you, and then you're all right. Or was I the only one who did that? Because that's exactly how I got into the pool when I went to the pool and loved it. I loved swimming in the pools. I loved it as a kid. I love it to this day. But that's what I did with the digital marketing industry. I did my research. I decided what company I was going to go with because there's several companies out there, especially on social media right now. You can flip through the lives. There'll be 5 or 6 different companies advertising about taking advantage of the digital marketing industry. And I said all that to let you know that, because a lot of times when people see a lot of companies doing something, they say, oh, it's saturated or it's a scam. And I don't know why it got to be a scam because a lot of people doing it. It's just popular. And because it says popular, then it's a trend. It's trendy. It's going to run out. Well, I've been a part of quite a few businesses where it went through a trend, that went through a popular phase. One was the mortgage industry. I was a mortgage broker for 12 years. Did very well. And when the housing boom hit, it was insane, literally insane. Everybody was making money. We was making money hand over fist. We were doing loans left and right. And the problem happened was because they were creating all these crazy programs, no income, no assets. You don't have to prove anything. All you got to do is have a certain credit score, boom, and you got the loan. And they will give you more than what you really needed. And being a greedy society like we are, people were buying more house than they can afford. And then what happened was, those notes start coming in, and you'll get a, no doc loan and no payment for the first year. And then that second year hit, and then they want their money, and you got more house than you can afford. And then people start screaming, crying, and they start saying, oh, the loan officer talked me into it, which is so crazy because you knew when you went to look at that house, you couldn't afford that house. You knew when that guy told you what those numbers were after that first year or whatever that grace period was, you knew you weren't going to be able to pay it. But you said, hey, I'll figure it out because I want this house. Same thing people do with cars. They're getting to an expensive luxury import car, a BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, because they like the way it feels or like the way it looks. And they got to tell you, hey, 6 months, no payment. And then you say, hey, I got 6 months to figure out how I'm going to make some extra money to make this payment. And then 6 months go by like that. And you look up, and that payment right there, they knocking on the door, you ain't got it. And then you want to scream and cry and say the guy talked you into it. And that's right. That was that first market. I went through that market with the housing boom. And then I went through the market with the life insurance. We made a ton of money selling life insurance. The life insurance industry was booming. We made a ton of money doing that. Solar, the industry I'm in right now, we're doing very well until, again, the current administration came in and snatched the rug out from under us. So you have to be able to adapt. So many people want to blame the owners or the administration or whatever. It don't do you no good to blame somebody. The question is what you're going to do, because it happened. So you could say it's their fault. It don't matter whose fault it is. Bills are still due, you know? So when I saw this digital marketing thing, I said the same things. I had the same questions. I said, okay, what if it is a fad? And I said, okay, if it is a fad, my question is, how much money can I make before the trend ends? How much money? Because I'm looking at people making it. And I'm going to show you some of the people in our group. One lady, she made 100 grand in 2 months. The creator of the program, she made over 600,000 in a year. You know, people are averaging 5 figures. The girl who introduced it to me, she averages 15 to 20 grand a month. Young girl. So my question is, for the type of commitment that they're asking for, the investment, which is very, reasonable, under a couple $100, very reasonable, because most businesses that I started, I was in 5 figures minimum to get it going. Now they're talking about starting this for a couple $100. I can afford to lose that if it didn't work. But I'm always the optimistic type person. I always say, okay, but what if it did? What if it does work? What if I can get in on this wave? What if I make a couple $100? Couple 100,000, excuse me. What if I make a couple 100,000 and they snatch and the wave ends and the bubble busts, or whatever you want to refer to it as? I still made a couple 100 grand. Is it worth it for a couple $100 investment? To me, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, come on, let's be honest. A couple 100 grand. So let's say I run this for 2 years and I run it like they tell me to run it. I plug into the system. I do what they tell me to do. I found out the do's and the don'ts, and I hit my bumps like any business I had. I ride the wave, and 2 years from now, something happens or something better comes out, or whatever the reason it is, because it's going to happen. But in 2 years, the excitement is gone. But I look back and I made $300,000 grand, $300,000. Would it be worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I want to do, I want to tell you what I've seen, show you some of the income streams that you can create. In this industry, with this particular vehicle that I'm working with, they have over 40 income streams you can access. I've learned to, and I'm not going to say master, I've learned to manipulate 4. And I say manipulate because I've learned to do what I have to do to make it work so that I can create an income utilizing 4 income streams. 4 income streams. Do I plan on using the other 637 of them? Probably not all of them. Quite a few of them. Yeah, some additional ones I want to definitely take advantage of, but no. And the reason why they have so many, because they want to give people a variety, because people have different interests. They have different things that catches their eye. That wasn't me. I saw 4. I had done 2 of the 4 before, but just not at this level. So it made sense to me. It was easy. I take that back. God forgive me for saying that. It's not easy. It's simple. Easy and simple are 2 completely different things. Very simple. Takes discipline. And the discipline part is the part that makes it not easy, because everyone is not disciplined. Everyone is not going to do what they're supposed to do, because most people have what I like to refer to as a job mentality, where they are used to showing up to a place at a time that they've been instructed to show up, sit at a location or stand at a location that they've been instructed to stand and sit at, work and do a number of tasks that they've been given and instructed to do, take a break when they are told to take a break, work until the end of the day that they're instructed, leave and go home or wherever they want to go at the time they've been told to do. A lot of people are conditioned to do what they are told. When you do something like digital marketing, you have to have an entrepreneurial spirit. You have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And what I mean by that is, I mean that you have to be willing to do what's required with nobody looking over your shoulder telling you what to do. Because the problem is, a lot of times when everybody likes the idea of being in business for themselves. Everybody always said, man, I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to have my own business. And I always tell them, it's not easy. Because the hardest thing to do is to be disciplined. The hardest thing to do is to do something that nobody's making you do, but you have to do it at the same level as if somebody was standing over top of you making you do it. You have to put the same amount of energy in it, if not more, because if you don't do it now, you don't get paid. See, with that job, you can mess around. You can ride the clock. You can do the absolute least amount to keep you from getting fired, which is what most people do on a job. They do the least amount required to keep their job. But when you have your own business, when you started your own company, when you are in control completely of your income, it takes a determined mind and a discipline to make it happen. Now, I'm going to tell you something. There's no greater feeling than succeeding in a business that you own. None at all. When you make money on something you've done on your own, it beats any feeling that you'll get on a check that somebody's giving you. Even though you've done the work that person told you to do, making money from a business that you own or hustle or whatever, and a hustle ain't nothing but your own business, just at a smaller level, but making money on your own that you've created is the greatest feeling that a person can have. So when you decide to do something like this, you have to say, okay, first and foremost, do I need the money? And that's usually an easy one, but I never assume, because some people don't. Some people have been disciplined enough to get used to and adjusted to the money that they make, so they don't really need any more. They don't really need anything in addition to what they currently have. So they're all right. But if you need it, if your bills are kicking your butt, and you're tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul, you're tired of, juggling this bill over here and trying to decide, what kind of party can I give my kid this time? He wants this, but I don't know if I can afford that, or can I take a vacation? I used to see people sometimes talking about, I had a good friend one time who was upset, saying that he had to cancel his second vacation for the year. And at that point, I laughed because I hadn't had a vacation period. At that point, it was about 5 years. So he talking about canceling the second one that they had scheduled for that year. So everything is a mentality. Everything is what's important to you. So if you need to develop an additional income, and when I say additional income, I told you about the people that are making 5-6 figures. Is that possible? Yeah, it is. They did it. Why can't you do it? God's no respecter of persons. But can I promise you that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. One, I don't know your work ethic. I don't know what your one is. I don't know what your why is. I don't know what really button that you have that can make you do some things that you're not used to doing. But you do. And I've seen over the years, God open doors for people who have that desire, which creates that burn that makes them work like maniacs. And the thing about it is, and I just said this a minute ago, God is no respecter of persons. And you get with the right system and you do what they instruct you to do, and you put in the work, you will blow your own mind. You will see results that you never imagined receiving before. You will see results that you only heard other people do, and you didn't believe that the people were really doing it. And you'll look up and it's happening to you. And it will blow your mind. And your life will change drastically, not because of the money, but because of the opportunity that money gives you. When you have your own income, your mindset changes tremendously. Imagine you don't have to ask for permission to take off. Imagine if you need to do something, you don't have to ask nobody nothing. Imagine if you have something coming up that you really want to do for your family, and you sit down and you decide how much it's going to cost, and you have a vehicle in addition to your job, because your job is your job. You make what you make. That don't change. And, so you can't say, well, hopefully I'm going to get a raise that's going to give me an additional $20,000 a year. Fat chance on that. But if you have a vehicle that you can increase your income a good $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 a month, and you know that's real, and you know if you do what's required, if you do what your mentor has told you to do, you can make that happen. Because think about it. An additional $5,000 to most people in their monthly budget changes their whole lifestyle completely. Even if you don't do nothing but take that $5,000 of money and put it in the bank, that's at the end of the year. That's an additional $60,000 you can put into your savings at the end of the year. That changes everything. Everything. Even if you did nothing but that and just put the money aside, you're talking about every 2 years, you got an extra $120,000 you got to put in the bank for savings. That changes everything. So when you think about it that way, you realize that, okay, I have to really take the time to look into some things and see how they're making this work, So again, the course that I purchased, and yeah, it's a course. So whatever your mentality is about buying courses, I ain't gonna say I don't care, but I really don't care. It is what it is. That's what it is. If you have a phobia about, I don't do good, somebody teaching me something, that's a mentality, because that's not true, because whatever you do on your job, somebody had to teach you. Whether you was given a manual to follow or whether they taught you hands-on, they still taught you. So you have to decide, okay, how bad do I need to develop a second income? Am I willing to do something that maybe I'm not comfortable doing? Maybe I'm not comfortable learning by watching videos. Maybe I'm not comfortable learning by, attending Zoom meetings and webinars. Maybe I need somebody to give me hands-on one-on-one, which is available as well. But whatever it is you need, don't knock an opportunity until you find out if you can make that change, even if you can make that adjustment. Because sometimes you can do something that you have never done before for the first time for the right reason. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes you can do that thing that you've never done before for the right reason. Because if the motivation is strong enough, you can do things that you never considered yourself ever being able to do for the right motivation. So the things that I learned to do was, in the digital marketing industry, like I said, there are over 40 different income streams that you can learn with this particular course. I picked four. One was a faceless theme page. A faceless theme page is anything that you want to talk about. And I want to give you an example. Let's say that you like travel, but you got to be more specific. It has to be a very specific niche. Niche is a very funny word. I always like to keep saying a niche. So let's say that you like travel to the Caribbean. Then even more specific, travel to the Caribbean by a cruise. So you want to create a page, faceless theme page, and you put it on social media. And every day you create content for that page. Okay, then why are you doing this? Social media, you get paid by people looking at what you've posted. Makes sense, right? So every day, multiple times throughout that day, you will post content about your particular subject or niche. And you say, okay, man, I ain't got time to be doing no videos. I ain't got time to be posting. Okay, I agree. I didn't want to do that neither. I didn't want to do the creating videos and walking around with a tripod and always. I didn't want to do that. If you do want to do that, it's great. It's perfect for you. I didn't want to do that neither. So the young lady that was my mentor at the time taught me how to utilize other people's content. And people saying, what do you mean, man? It's stealing content. No, it's not. Major companies like the Shade Room or World Star and stuff like that, they make millions a month by posting other people's media, OPM, other people's media, other people's content. One of the modules that we have, as well as myself, if you decided you wanted to come on board and let me mentor you, I would teach you how to access content from other platforms, clean that content. And he said, what do you mean we're cleaning? There are websites out there where we clean the content of all of the information of the previous person. If you it says you posted something off of TT is TikTok, but I'm gonna just refer to it as TT, off of TT. TT puts what's called a watermark on that video. Because yeah, they want to get credit for it. But TT ain't create that video. Think about it. They didn't create that video. Somebody else posted that video. When they post that video, TT puts a watermark up there. There are websites that we can show you and teach you how to access it, where you take the link of a video, you put it on that website, you click on the button, and the website will clean the video of all watermarks and ownership titles. Then what you do is you go to what has become my number one friend, my number one executive assistant, my what I like to call my ace boom coon, ChatGPT. Chat will do so many things for you in this industry. And when I say chat, I'm mainly talking about AI because I also use, work with me on this so I can get this working like I need it to work. I also use others. I use Chat, I use Claude, I use Gemini, and I use Galaxy. Galaxy actually is like a conglomerate that has over 3,000 AI bots that gives you access to. And I use them as my executive assistant. So what I'll do in this instance, let's say I'm going to create a theme page, and this is one of the ones that I created here. This is a theme page on men's mental health, because that's my passion, helping men deal with the mental stress that they deal with on a regular basis. So I said, chat, give me 10 theme page names or theme page topics that will be viral and eventually profitable on all platforms. And it gave me 10 different options that I could use. That's okay. Give me 10 options of names that I can have for that theme page. And they came up with this, the Men's Clarity Lab. And I said, okay, chat, give me a logo that I can use for this theme page. Again, it gave me like 10 options. I went to I went to Gemini. Gemini does very good on graphics. I went to Gemini, it gave me some options. I went to Galaxy. Galaxy gave me 5 options from the different graphic design bots that it had, and I chose the one that I wanted. So then I used the name. I created a new page on TT, IG, FB. I hope you guys follow me with the initials, all of them. YT, YouTube, Snapchat, all of them. And I created a page on all of them. I said, chat, give me a bio that will be viral, scroll stopping, and potentially I can monetize on all platforms. And they created all of them. And then, as you can see on this page here, all of the different posts that I've had. I had videos that I downloaded from other locations where I took the videos, I cleaned it off, I put my logo up there. I put a caption up there that I got chat to create for me. I posted it. This is the caption that came along with that I put for the video. Like most men aren't weak, they're mentally overloaded, bills, responsibilities, expectations, and nobody asking if you're okay. If you're a man 30 plus feeling stuck, stressed, or mentally drained, this is the group for you. And what it does is it allows them to connect to the video. Then they click on follow, they click on like, then they click on a free PDF that I created utilizing chat again. And what it does is it creates a lead magnet. Why do I want that? Because when I decide to create other products or whatever, I have an audience that's already interested in what I'm talking about to access. So for example, I would go, and this is one of the, well, this is not the free one. This is what the free one led to. I created a PDF, and I say I mean we, because Chad helped me with this, and it came out to be, the name Men's Clarity Code, Discipline, Direction, and Control. I gave them a free PDF, which led to a $3 PDF, which is basically part 2 of the first free PDF, which led to a more professional, complex PDF, which is the Clarity Code right here. And I sold the $3 one. And people say, oh man, $3, you ain't make nothing off the $3. Well, do $3 times with 1,000, just to round it off. I did over 1,000, but that's like $3,000. Then I went to the Clarity Code, sold this for $27. I sold over 400 of these. And I did all these in the first week that I created this theme page. You follow me? Now let me show you another stream. Now that was 2 streams. That was the theme page. And how's the theme page to stream? What happens is all of the platforms will see activity going to the page that you created. And once you have a certain number of clicks and views, they will reach out to you and ask you to be a part of their creator club, their creator team, whatever name that they give it. And then they pay you on a monthly basis based on the amount of views that goes to that page. So that's the first source of income. That's what most people think of content creators as, is, you know, they just get paid by, you know, all of the different platforms because they have so many people. But most people think that you got to have 1 million followers, and you don't. You don't. You really just need 1,000 for TikTok because they're the only ones that require them. IG, FB, and YT, they go off the amount of people that actually put eyes on it. And they monetize you a lot quicker than TT does. TT is slow on it, but TT is so huge. You know, TT is 1.8 billion people that's watching it. So, you know, but all of them, they have their own different strategies and requirements. But that's the first source of income. Second source of income for me was the ebooks. So I made about over $3,000 on the $3 ebook. Then I sold it for $27. So, you know, that's another source of income. Then I'm going to show you the one that really blew my mind that I didn't even see coming. I created merchandise. Now, where did I get the idea from to do the merchandise? Chet. He said, what do you mean? I said, Chet, I want you to be an executive promotional creator and write me out a campaign on how to profitize this theme page to the best of my ability to make the most money. And Chat gave me a step-by-step campaign on what to do with the free PDF to the $3 PDF to the $27 PDF. And I'm coming behind the $27 with the $47 workbook, which is going to lead to a club, which is going to lead to a webinar series. And I know all of you seen the people reach out to you, say, oh, click on this to join my free webinar, all that. Big business, huge business, 6 figures a month type business. And this is how I get started. But this is what Chat told me to do as well, create merchandise. So I created over 10 different shirts, hoodies, thermos, backpacks, but these were my highest sellers. Sweat Out the Stress. Again, all of these topics were created by Chat. Chat gave me a list of about 15. I chose the ones that I liked the most. Chat designed the logos for me. I went to a company, and I can show you that company right here, named Printify. Printify will take your idea, tell you how much they're going to charge you per shirt, create it, produce it, send it out to the customer, and pay you the difference. And he said the difference. Okay, Printify said go back to my merchandise. For this t-shirt, Your Mind, Your Rules, big seller. This one, Man Enough to Breathe, was huge as well. For that t-shirt, Printify sold it to me for $8 and roughly 24 cents. I sold it for $25. Every time a shirt sells, I get an email saying, hey, you got a sale on your product, Your Mind, Your Rules, $25. They send me the difference between the $25 and the $8.42 by the end of the week on every Friday. Hoodies, I think it was $12.15, something like that. I gotta look it up for sure. Sell the hoodies for $40. Thermos, Printify has over 10,000 products that you can access to develop. You say, how much I got to pay? I ain't got to pay nothing. A lot of companies, when people do drop shipment, when they do print on demand, they got to pay up front, and then they get now Printify, you don't have to pay anything. You set up your account, there's no monthly fees, there's no anything like that. You set it up. So okay, now that's my third source of income. I had the first one, which is the theme page. The second one was the ebooks, journals, workbooks. The third one was the merchandise. Now let me show you the fourth one. This is the fourth one right here. This is the way that you make the biggest amount of money the fastest. The company I work with is called Standing on Business. Standing on Business was started by a young girl who was a nurse who got an idea from another company doing something very similar, and she created this course. It's just a course. Are there other courses out there? Absolutely. Is this the best one? I think so. But it really doesn't matter, because you can be on what you think is the best one, but if you're not plugging into it and doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going to make any money. Standing on Business, she started this in September of 2025. Today, she has over 13,000 people who have purchased this course and become partners with her. It's the fastest growing course that's out there right now. That is a fact. Other people saying, well, our company's better. Maybe. I never get into it back and forth with people over there. All I know is that this is the fastest growing. We call it SOB. SOB is all everywhere. And she has over, these are what's called modules. She has over 20 modules with different topics to teach you how to do what you need to do. Each module has different things that you can focus on. They teach you how to set up your business. They teach you how to create your content. They teach you how to grow your followers. They teach you how to do the secrets in the business. They teach you how to create an AI twin. They teach you how to do it faceless marketing. You know, they teach you how, you know, to go step by step to do it. They teach you how to access already proven products that you can just put your name on and sell it. Private label rights. But the business is, the main thing you do that you can make the biggest money is sell the course, because she gives you what's called master resale rights. And when you become a part of the organization, you have the right to sell this course, and you keep 100% of the products. That is the money maker. That is how people are really, truly getting paid. They are really going crazy with this product right now. They are really making money hand over fist. And the crazy thing about it was, when I first started, I didn't even go live. I focused on building the theme page. I focused on the merchandise. I focused on the ebooks. And I made, $1,700 my first week just doing this. But that was nothing when I started going live and selling the course. And some people say, well, I don't want to go live. Okay. But then you have the options that I gave you, the other 3 ways to make money, as well as the other 37 different income streams that you have access to, that you can learn how to do and make money from it. You know, but if you need to flip that money quickly, going live, selling the course is the best way you can do it. Now I'm doing them all. I'm launching a whole new theme page. I got that one I showed you is one of 3. So I have 3 pages, and I've monetized each one of the 3 pages. I'm about to launch another theme page this week, and that's going to be talking about being a caregiver, because I had a situation with my father-in-law who just passed 2 days ago. But we had some issues dealing with the care that he was getting in the nursing home that he was in. And I have a passion about that now. I really want to talk about that. And I realized I did a little research, And that is a major issue across the country. And I'm looking forward to what can come from that theme page. So I'm about to launch that. But that gives you an idea, because a lot of people selling these courses and they just telling people, yeah, get in here. There's tons of ways you can make money, but they don't show people specifics. They're not showing people exactly how they can make the money and what they can do. Now the cost of the program is normally $500, $595. But again, she gives us the ability to charge what we want to charge, no less than $100. But my fee is $185 because what that comes with that is mentorship, and I teach people that. We have payment programs that you can be a part of. Sezzle, Affirm, Zip, Klarna. Some people that join don't have no money down. Most people have like a $15, $18 monthly fee that you can pay on it, however you want to do it. But for the type of money that you can make from being a part of this, you're talking about under $200 to get started. My goal has always been my goal with any business that I've been a part of. When I look into a business, I always say, okay, first you have to invest, then you have to learn before you can ever earn. And see, a lot of people make money instantly. They don't know their background. They don't know if they have a background in business. They don't know their comfortability. They don't know what they know how to do. And they want the same results as that person. And I tell people, first thing first, decide if what you want to do, if this is something you want to do, pay the money to get in. You may not have the $200, the $185. Okay, then do what you got to do to get in there. I'm not going to sit here and try to make it like $185 could be $1,800 to some people. I understand that. Been there, done that. But you do what you got to do. Then you learn. Then you go here. You get with me. We'll do a one-on-one strategy session by Zoom. Go over what it is you want to do. Go over what it is you're comfortable with, what it is that you're willing to learn. We'll choose the options that are available, and I will walk with you and make it happen. And I say walk with you because you have to come along. I'm not dragging anybody. I'm not going to worry you to death to try to help you make money. That doesn't even make sense. Because if you're looking to make money, I shouldn't have to worry you about it, But the community is vast. Those 13,000 people, you have access to them. We have our community is on school where you can get in there. You can ask questions. They do trainings on Mondays, orientation on Tuesdays. They do a one-on-one question and answer with the creator on Wednesday. They do a technology training with people who are kind of limited with the technology, learning how to use chat, learning how to create an AI, learning how to access the different things that we have available. They do that on Thursdays. So you have more than enough access. My personal team that I'm a part of, the girl who mentored me, they do a question and answer session on Sunday evenings. So you have access to it, but you have to make the effort. Ain't nobody gonna make the money for you, but we can make it together. We can make this money together, but you know what you want to do. You know what you need to do. You know what you have the desire to do, and you know your work ethic. If it's something that you've always wanted to be in position where you can, take control of your life, then do what you got to do. It's a great opportunity. It's there for you, But don't sit here and spend the money, get in. I don't hear from you for a couple of weeks. Then you come back to me and say, man, I've been in this thing 3 weeks. I ain't made no money. But man, I ain't seen you. What are you talking about? Yeah, I know I've been working a lot. I ain't had time, but I should have did something. Yeah, you should have did something. But it's never too late. And I'm always here. I'm always available. You will have my, you can direct message me, my text. You text me, all of that, but you have to be willing to make the effort. So if it's something that you're interested in, my store website is at the bottom of this right here. Stan.store/digital equity company. When you go to that page, the first option, for $185. You click on that. They'll give you the payment options if you need the payment. If not, you can just put your information in there. Then they're going to send you an email with instructions on what to do. You have to forward your receipt that you paid it to the company headquarters so the admin can see that. If they don't get that, they're not going to put you in. But once they get it, they'll put you in there. Sometimes it happens quickly. Sometimes it may take 24 hours. They give it a 24 hours, 48 hours. I've never seen that happen to anybody unless they did it on the weekends. But during the week, they're usually on top of it really quick. If you have questions, my email address is scrolling at the top of this. You can reach out to me for any personal questions. But if not, you can always catch me on TikTok. Kept doing a live if you need to see the live again, or you can watch this live. This live is going to go out on all platforms, Facebook and IG, twice a day. I do different lives. Try to do it 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. But again, write down my email address or go and write down my website. Go to the website to join or send me any personal questions. So I want to thank you guys for taking this time, and I hope to hear from you to answer any personal questions from you. You guys have a great rest of the week.